I bought a floating canvas. It comes with a frame, and I'm now just playing with some charcoal to create some freeform shapes, and I'm filling in the forms. And this is a way of starting a painting. If you're not sure of what you want it to look like, if you haven't planned it, you can begin with abstract expressionism with an intuitive style where you literally just let the line go for a walk, as Clee would say. And so that's what I'm starting this one with. I just let the line go for a walk, and I'm going to build it as I go along. I have no plan at all for what it's going to look like. I just want to intuitively bring colours and shapes together to create something harmonious. And the way I see it is a bit like writing a song, creating a song. And you could start off trying to capture melody, possibly, or you come up with an idea, you just let it flow, and you're just playing around with your instruments, listening to the sounds, letting it flow, see what goes together. And so I've laid down the basics I've filled the canvas, and now I'm printing just by painting onto paper, because I don't want too many brush strokes, and so it eliminates the brush strokes. If you paint onto the paper and then press it onto the canvas or the board, then it eliminates some of the brush strokes and gives a smoother finish, and it just gives a printerly effect, which can be nice. So I'm just literally exploring and experimenting the way that a singer-songwriter would explore a melody and start playing around with different tunes, what works, what goes together. And I'm trying to find the harmony in the colours. I'm thinking what's harmonious, what's working, and all the time I'm looking around the whole painting, trying to find that harmony. And I turn it upside down, I turn it sideways, and I'm looking at it as a whole all the time, and then looking at little sections. So at the moment I'm liking the blue, but I'm not liking the left-hand side. It's a bit scrawly, and I'm trying to now work over the top of it and obliterate some of the things that I don't like and start again in those areas. And I thought it would be nice to have some neutrals in the background instead of all glaring bright colours. So now that I've laid down those really bright colours, I can scratch through them and reveal them through the neutrals, and it gives a more in-depth base for the painting. So I'm now isolating some of the shapes, and I thought I'll concentrate on these particular shapes as the main structure of the painting. And now I'm experimenting literally in an intuitive fashion with other areas of the painting to try and bring together the harmony. At the moment it's unharmonious, and so what I want to do is just bring in different shapes, different colours, and explore what works well, what doesn't. I'm liking this blue. It's a blue river, it's water, it's a blue river. I'm not liking the red blob with the sort of teeth coming out of it, teeth or claws. It seems aggressive. So the blue is harmonious, the blue is flowing nicely, and the patterns are flowing nicely, and the larger shapes are coming out, and I'm exploring those. But the one on the left with the white seems to be jarring, and the area above it seems to be jarring. So I'm going to work into it and just bring in. And you never know when you've finished a painting. If you're doing an abstract expressive painting, it can happen over days, it can happen over weeks. Sometimes I'll get one out of the cupboard and think, no, this bit's wrong, and I'll start it again and start adding and subtracting different areas to it. So at the moment I'm liking the contrast, that juxtaposition of dark and light, with the yellows and the bright oranges against the dark greens and the dark purples. I think that works very well. But I'm still unhappy with the top left and the top and the mid left. So I'm going to work on those. I'm just looking at it thinking, what works? So the blue, the river of blue, brings it together. So I'm going to make that a bit one of the strongest parts of the painting. and the big egg shape. I'm liking the egg shape. So bringing in more contrasting colours. So I've got the oranges and the purples. I'm now blocking in over the areas that I don't think works. And it's the beiges, it's the neutrals. I don't like the neutral colours. I'm going to leave a small area of them where they still show through, showing the background. But mostly I'm looking for vibrant colours. And I want vibrant colours that are harmonious with each other. So I can feel it now, I can see the melody now. And it's different to what I was expecting it to be. The shapes are bigger. I was expecting more disjointed shapes. I know they are disjointed, but there are some very large shapes there held together with the blue river. And that surprised me. I wasn't expecting that at all. But you can see almost like when a musician is creating a song, there are some areas that seem to have very small fast notes and some areas that seem to have long notes, and those are the larger shapes. So I'm experimenting. I think the pink works well with the blue, but the bit I don't like is underneath those white teeth. The orange and yellow area doesn't work with the red and the white. So I might have to work into that at some point. But at the moment, I'm amplifying the areas that I think do work. I like the yellow, the contrast of the yellow, but not with the red and the white teeth. So I'm adding more yellow at the moment. I'm using Posca pens now. I started off with, first of all, charcoal, and then I brought in acrylic paint. So I'm using strong acrylic paint to get those vibrant colours. And then I came in with some acrylic pens, Posca pens, to mark out some of the shapes in a smoother detail. Here's the Posca pen again. And I'm blending it in with the paint because it does contain paint. And the surface is now quite knobbly because I've worked in about 3 or 4 different layers, and so it's quite difficult to use a paintbrush over some areas, so that's why I've gone in with the pen. Now I see it coming together more. I like the dark in the middle against the light blue. Switching it round again. I'm trying to decide which way up do I like best, which way works. And at the moment I feel it is upside down. I feel the other way round, that way round, seems to be the correct way. I'm now strengthening the areas that work and obliterating areas that don't work. I like the contrast of the green against the red, and I like the purple and the blues and the yellows contrasting each other. But it's that area above where I am at the moment doesn't seem quite right again, where the neutrals are. I realise I don't want neutrals in the painting. I want strong colours, strong juxtaposition of colours with larger areas of shape. So the 2 areas that bother me at the moment are the left, where the neutrals are, with the yellow running through it, and the area with what looks like teeth or claws. Right, so I'm going into the neutral area now, making it more vibrant, and I'm going into the area with the teeth, emphasising the river because the river holds it all together. I find it such a therapeutic process. So far this is about 4 hours of work and 4 very happy hours where I just sink into the painting and the colours, and it's all very intuitive. It's just what works, what doesn't. how can I pull this together? And at the moment I'm moving house, and there's a lot of stress, a lot of headaches, and this is quiet time. And it's speeded up so it looks a bit frantic, but it's actually representing about 4 hours of quiet time, maybe more. And I find it very therapeutic. So when the stress of the day becomes a bit too much with all the moving and putting things in skips and things, I go and sit down and add a little bit more to my picture. I think you can sort of see some of that chaos in the picture. It's still not 100% harmonious. And that represents what's happening in my life at the moment. I'm having to clear a house, and it is very stressful. Throwing away a lot of my mum and dad's belongings, which I really don't like doing. So it's coming together well now. I like that contrast of the purple and the yellow and the orange, and I like the positioning of the shapes. It's all starting to work for me. Another viewer might see it very differently, but to me, I see the harmony there. It's now singing its song, and for me, it's a calming song. Yes, that works better. So I've got the major shapes. I'm still bothered about the white though. The white, what look like teeth. I don't like those. I'm going to have to go over those, and I'm going to have to emphasize the yellow area on the far right as well. And then I'll be happier. I'm adding in some extra shapes, and I'm not sure it needs them. I'm just trying something out. I'm thinking, no, actually that doesn't work. I need to remove those. They were just an afterthought. But the orange works and the yellow works, so I think I need more orange and more yellow, and no white teeth. Don't want the teeth. So I'm going to go over the two new shapes I brought in, and there we go. That's the finished one, and that's the right way round.